So what's the deal with adding the fur coat? I hear you were in charge of
The
that.
fur coat, yeah. So the fur coat comes from, as a child, I was saved by a bunch of gorillas, and I grew up, got pretty athletic, and a leopard attacked me, and I came out on top. Some people call me Tarzan, but other people, call me Evan. So no, I'm just kidding. It was off of Amazon. Yeah. I thought it was pretty cool though. A lot of guys wanted to add a little something, and it ended up being, it kind of looks nice. So I think we're gonna ride with it for the moment.
Tony said he didn't know that y'all were doing that until you did it yesterday.
Yeah, I didn't want to ask him if he was going to allow it because I didn't know if he was going to, say yes or no. But it surprised him a little bit. So I think it's going to stay for a little bit.
You've been in so many of those moments in your career. Just take me through that at bat, and are you used to it by now? I mean, obviously.
Yeah, no, I was pretty relaxed. That was probably the most relaxed at bat I had all day. I was seeing pitches well. I definitely wanted to see his off speed early in the count, and I was kind of expecting it later in the count, and put a pretty good swing on it. And I think it was kind of a way for our team to relax a little bit, and it was almost like the floodgates opened up after it. So if we get some guys like Drew Gilbert to get comfortable in the box, we're going to be a dangerous team.
How did it feel to throw out a runner there at second after an off season of training a catcher?
Man, it felt good. I feel like it was not one of my better throws, but Cortland, he helped me out. I definitely owe him a steak or a meal at some point, but it felt good to get that one out of the way. And today was definitely more comfortable than yesterday, and I think it's going to build on that.
Catching in the fall and in practice is obviously a lot different than doing it in games that count. What's it been like catching Burns and Dollander these last 2 days?
Man, Burns, he's a tough one to catch because, he's a 100-mile-an-hour arm, especially in the cold weather with his slider. Being able to get him, because I knew he was a freshman, I knew he was going to be a little nervous at first, which he didn't show. But being able to get him dialed in, and then obviously Chase Dollander, he's a big leaguer, in a sophomore's body. He's going to play for a long time, so being able to have guys like that get up there and do their thing, it's almost like I got the keys to some Lamborghinis. I just get in the car and ride, but especially with some cruise control or something like that. But it's definitely nice to have those guys on the mound.
Yesterday, Burns mentioned that you kind of served as a calming presence. What do you do to settle those guys down as a vet back there?
I just try to talk to them like it's a normal day. I try to make them know that it's nothing different. The hitters are, they're not big leaguers. He's not facing the Yankees. Not yet anyway, but he's done it his whole life. So I try to make it seem like it's no different than the bullpen. And, he came out, yesterday and he showed it, and he was very comfortable, and he was throwing a way that freshmen don't. So I think he's going to build on his success too, especially throughout the year.
Sorry, go ahead.
Y'all lose a bunch of dudes from last year, but today proves that kind of y'all still have that never say die attitude. How do you kind of transfer that over year to year and kind of impart that upon new guys starting in lineups and stuff?
Man, you got the recruiting coordinators, Josh Elander, Tony Botello, Frank Anderson. They're going to bring in dudes, and especially you got coaching staff like Coach B, what he's put together. People want to play for him. They want to have fun, they want to enjoy it, and they want to be themselves. And I think that as long as he's here, you're going to have guys like Chase Dollander, Chase Burns come in to play for him. And this program is not going to be built off of one guy on the mound or on the field, because you got a coaching staff that's going to put a group together that's going to play and play hard.
What does it say about this team's veterans as a whole that you guys showed up when they needed it today?
Man, I think it helps to have a lot of older guys that's been through it. If you look around on the field, you don't see many freshmen or sophomores. I know there's a lot of guys like Cortland Lawson, Trey Lipscomb even, that haven't really got experience, but those are some older guys, and they carry themselves like they've been through it before. So I think that having guys, the leadership of guys that's been through it, also combined with guys that haven't but are as talented as us, I think it's a good recipe for success.
I know y'all are pretty excited about the depth of this lineup heading into the season, but has it been nice to have some early confirmation that y'all can kind of hit 1 through 9, and whoever's in there can kind of get the job done?
Yeah, I think we have just as dangerous of a lineup this year as we did last year. I think 1 through 9 can leave the yard. I think it's going to be a hard AB every time someone comes up, and I think it gives a lot of people confidence that if it's not going well for them today, just stay the course, and it's going to go well for you tomorrow. But I think having the depth in the lineup, along with the pitching staff, even with injuries of Halverson and Tidwell. I think it's just, if we can get those guys back, it's going to be dangerous.
Coming into the season, there might have been a few questions about the bullpen, if who's going to lead the team. Just how confident are you and the team in the bullpen that you have so far?
Man, I feel really good about it. We rolled some arms out the past 2 games that, they look confident, they look comfortable. They were throwing strikes with some pretty good off speeds as well, but we got a lot of guys in the bullpen that are, they're itching for their chance. Ben Joyce, he's going to come out. He's going to be ready to go. You only saw a little bit of Redmond, but Mark McLaughlin, Jake Fitzgibbons, those guys, they're ready to show something. So I'm excited to see them get their chance, and it feels good to also see Camden Sewell come out of the bullpen too, because that guy, he's pretty nasty.
What's it like to coach with Ethan Smith? I mean, he just came on recently, and you probably haven't had a lot of time working with him. How was that for you?
Man, that was actually the first time I ever caught him, which is wild. But I'd faced him a little bit, so I knew what he liked to throw. And Coach Hay, he told me to take the earpiece out because he didn't know what he liked to throw either. Because he's fresh, so I kind of worked with him a little bit, and he's going to throw a lot of innings for us, and it's good to have him on the good side.
Thanks, Evan.